Automate, welcome to the Underground Society podcast, man.
Thank you very much. I thought making music was pushing buttons on the launch pad. Think about it. I'm a dude coming from Italy, a place super far from America. My friends in Italy don't listen to this type of music. They were totally not interested. I was alone, honestly, in that period.
If it wasn't for music, would you be doing anything else in life? You
I'd kill myself, honestly.
Yeah. You didn't get a whole lot of support from your parents.
It was difficult when I started because, of course, they didn't want me to make music. My dad is a painter.
Okay.
And also sell motorcycles.
So he's been in the arts.
Yeah, exactly. For me, living in Italy, but still doing music and trying to study, it was such a difficult thing because my parents would every day be on my neck. Yo, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this. You can go fuck yourself.
Is it a weird feeling going home now and like your parents finally understanding?
It's a very good feeling, honestly. It's so good to go home and feel accepted, welcomed. I'm very grateful.
Automate, welcome to the Underground Society podcast, man. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I'm good. Good. Been working all day, but I'm good.
Good, yeah. So I wanted to start off this interview. I had Mad Dubs on not too long ago, and I know you guys are good friends.
Great.
And
yeah, I love him.
Obviously you guys have the song, your collab that like popped off. I don't know, how long ago was that? Last year?
Oh my God. I think like a few months ago.
Okay, it wasn't quite a year ago.
Not even sure. Yeah.
Anyways, Pop.
No, wait. It was June, May.
Okay, this summer.
May.
Yeah. Pape, it was a turn for both your guys' career. That song blew up. And I remember him telling me the meaning of it.
So it's like an inside joke between me and my Italian friends.
Okay.
But somehow, like I was talking with Tom. I remember we were at Rampage Open Air and I wanted him. I was with an Italian friend and we were joking around this term, Pope, with Tom. And I remember he thought it was very funny to like name a track like that. And so we did. We just made a collab. And
so funny. It's such a good song too.
Thank you.
Such a good song. But
it's funny.
That was going to bring me into the point since it is an Italian word. You're from Italy. Were you born in Italy? Or, I know you have somewhat of an accent. Were you born there? Do you still live in that area or what? Now that the music industry is, your life.
It's crazy because I give it for granted, but like I always realize that people don't know that I come from Italy first. Like I was born in Italy, but I was born and raised in Italy, and I still live in Italy. So like I don't live in the States. I come here, I play shows, and then I go back to Italy basically. So
you're out here just in the States and touring and stuff on visas then, right?
Yeah, I'm on a O1 visa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that was very difficult.
Yeah, and I wanted to go back to the beginning of your journey because the beginning of your journey really wasn't too long ago when you first got inspired to make this journey into the music industry and around 2018, right?
Yeah, around I'd say so. Yeah, probably a bit before that, but I wasn't really like pushing too much towards something. I was just like, I don't know, making something.
Got it. Okay. So how long have you been making music then? When did you actually what was like the first day you sat down, opened a DAW, first started on it?
I think I want to say 17.
Oh, wow. Okay.
17. Yeah. So it was 2016, probably, when I literally I didn't even know how to make music. I just, I downloaded Ableton because it was free with the Launchpad, the Innovation Launchpad. And I thought making music was pushing buttons on the Launchpad.
Like everyone thinks, DJ, just press buttons. No.
Exactly. So I thought it was like that. And so with Launchpad came Ableton. And thanks to that, I understood slowly how to make music. And, it was a very slow process because it was also, so I started listening to dubstep or electronic music in general when I was, I'd say 17 or 16, 17. So I wish I had listened to this music when
earlier.
I was,
yeah,
earlier, yeah,
but
I didn't.
It's kind of interesting because I thought 2018 was around the starting grounds, 2016 roughly, but it seemed like a pretty quick, like how far you've gone already, and like that you've only really been making music since then. Like you see some other young people around your age. I'll use like Emorphic for an example, right? He's been making music since he was like a small child, like basically.
Yeah,
so it's like for
crazy.
you, like you started like when you were around 17, you said, like, and you've made a lot of headway in that amount of time. Like it's only been since 2018.
Dude.
Yes, I mean it's been what, a little over 5 years now, something like that.
More, yeah.
Okay.
More, but yeah. No, yeah, 5 years, but still, the thing is that I wish I had started before. Like I wish I started when I was, 9, or I don't know. I think more Kismet, they started.
And, another great example.
Like super early in their career and in their life. Sorry, and I don't know. Like when I was that young, like when I was 10. I didn't even know what a computer was, honestly.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have a computer. Like my first phone, my first like touch phone, like an actual phone, not a Nokia. I got it when I was 14.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't even have.
So imagine
I didn't even
have
that.
a laptop.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
In Italy, you guys are almost, it's like, obviously America is like very like tech first, like we're like on the cutting edge of things. All the big tech companies are here and stuff. But in Italy, my step family is from Italy, and they were telling me my stepmom in specific is Sicilian. I'm not sure where you're from, but she's from Sicily. Her parents still lived there until they passed away. And they were telling me, I've never been over there, but just being around them, they were kind of telling me the culture and stuff, and they were saying how like their technology, like you guys still have like some of the newer technology, and like you guys stay up to it. You guys are first world country still, but it's almost like you guys are like pushed back a few years to where like computers, and like it almost makes sense where you were saying you weren't allowed to have a phone until a certain age. You weren't. Was that from your parents, or was that like a cultural thing?
I'd say it was a cultural thing, but just because I was born in 1999, so phones were still new. But I say I was not like a spoiled child growing up, so my parents just didn't want to spoil me that much. All my friends had phones, every friend. So like I wouldn't say it's technological.
It's not setback. Okay. For some reason, they made it seem like
countries.
Like Italy was like not like super far behind, but like maybe like 2 to 3 years behind tech wise.
Maybe I'd say maybe like in the 70s and the 80s.
Okay, so back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, back then. No, now it's literally the same. Like I go to Italy and some parts remind me to a lot of America, and in the bad way.
Yeah.
Like in the worst possible way. But still, I think we are on the same,
What part of Italy are you from?
level.
Are you northern? Are you Genovesan? Or are you?
I'm from Milano.
Okay, got it. Yep.
Which is in the north, and but my father is actually, so my grandfather, my father's father is from Sicily.
Okay, so you're still Sicilian, yeah. Sick.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
Something that I was curious about in your early days too was that you were originally I mean, it was during COVID, maybe, I don't know what really the reason, but you were a mass DJ for a while, and then you weren't a mass DJ. What was that all about, funny. And why did you start as a mass DJ, and why are you not now?
This is very funny because I'm gonna tell you, but basically I started as a mass DJ, and a lot of people think it's because of COVID. I was wearing the mask because of COVID, but no, that was just a coincidence. So basically, I remember I played my first shows in 2019. And of course, end of 2019 starts the pandemic, right? And I remember I played a show in Italy, January 2020. And it was literally 3 days before Italy went into full lockdown. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I played with my mask on, and I remember somebody took some photos and thought I was using the mask because of COVID. And to this day, I think when I played my first festival, like my first show in the US, my debut was at Caverns. And
what a debut! Holy shit!
Yeah, it was a fun one. And still, when I see some videos that, I don't know, random people post on Instagram about that set, I see some comments of people hating on the mask. Of course, they are like, you know,
Oh, just COVID's over or whatever. They were just like, you don't need to wear that
yeah,
anymore.
like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you use a mask? That's so lame. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But yeah. So one day I was playing a show. I was playing Boots House, I think. Samplifier was there at the show, and he just told me, "Bro, you should just take the mask off and just play without it."
So we got to blame Samplifier for that.
Yeah, I gotta blame him. Yeah,
that's
and
funny.
I did, and it was fun. And yeah, I used to use the mask because it covers my face, so my emotions, so I can be, you know, more hidden. And it was not a brand thing. It was just me trying to use it,
hide your face or whatever,
when I played shows.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Why? Was that like a nerves thing, or
it was just like give me less anxiety.
okay,
know?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
cool.
To play live with the mask on.
Yeah. Who are some of your? You just mentioned, you know, Samplifier, and you've obviously been in rooms with some of the big guys, but early on, who were some of your earlier inspirations and that got you into, you know, wanting to make music and making this your career?
I mean, of course, you know, I think everybody started with Skrillex.
Yes.
Then Skrillex for me became Virtual Riot, and then after Virtual Riot, I started exploring a little bit more because I was kind of bored, and this was me in the early days of listening to music, of course, and I found out about Ulosile, and from there it was like a rabbit hole of cool producers. You know, I found out basically that you can find cool music on SoundCloud if you dig enough. Yes, I'd say I found out about Murda, Infect, and Amplifier were big inspirations.
A lot of Disciple guys.
I'd say yeah, but before they were signed to Disciple.
I wanted to touch on Ulosile because I know you just did your first back-to-back with him. So going from someone who you were first kind of inspired by to make music and, you know, go down this path, what did it feel like to finally, you know, not only be on stage with him, but I'm sure, you know, you guys have built a relationship, you've released on his label, like you're pretty tied in with him now. What does that feel like now that you're in that position after looking up to him so many years ago?
It's crazy. I'm still trying to process that piece of information.
Yeah.
It's like
it just happened, right? Your back to back just happened. I forget where it was.
Yeah, it was Caverns.
Okay, yeah,
right. Yeah. And yeah, it was insane. Honestly, we had so much fun, and like we had a long talk before the show. And like he knows I've been a huge fan.
Yeah,
I'd say like honestly like the biggest fan. Like I don't think they're, you know, biggest fan to me for as far as Ulosile. You know, but yeah, he was very excited to play with me, and I was too, of course. But there was like an emotional moment before the show, kind of.
Yeah, had you met him prior to that? Had you already like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A bunch of times. Yeah.
How did your relationship with him start? Like going from being just a fan to like when did you meet him?
How did it start?
Yeah.
I remember I was on Discord talking to some guy and to a friend of mine. I really don't remember. It was a friend of mine, probably back in the days. Now we lost contact, but he told me that he was in the Discord server with Ulosile, and that Ulosile was very chill and used to hang out with people in the server. And so I just asked if I could join. And from there, you know, on some calls, I was showing him my music. And yeah, like that, honestly.
Cool.
And it was like, for me, the first time I saw like his face, like we had a call on Discord in a group, and he was, you know, on the screen like there. I remember for me it was an insane moment, like crazy moment.
What is happening?
Crazy. Yeah, because like think about it. I'm a dude coming from Italy, a place super far from America and far from this world of electronic music, you know. And my friends in Italy don't listen to this type of music. They were totally not interested in what I was doing.
Interesting.
So I was very.
Are they now? Not really.
I mean, my new friends, friends that I made, yes, but the old ones, no, not at all.
That's so interesting.
So I was very like, I was alone, honestly, in that period. And my friends were my online friends, honestly, on Discord. And yeah, it's crazy to think about it.
So in Italy, there really is no like electronic scene then, if people your age aren't into it. And
it's starting okay. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. We have some dope producers here that, I'm sure.
Is there anyone else big that is from Italy that you know?
Like in the dubstep scene?
Yeah. Are you the only one?
I can name a few. I can name a few people. I think I'm the only one with a visa.
Okay.
Which I know it's like a thing that, for people matters to an extent. But if you go, over that thing, there are Tripol. Tripol is dope producer. Nextars, Ablaze. I'm thinking about dubstep now. Ablaze and Antima. And dude, there are so many, literally so many. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry if I forgot somebody. Like I'm telling this to my friends in Italy. I love you. But yeah, like apart from that, there are dope names that make not just dubstep, but like more
electronic in general,
other stuff. Yeah. Do you know Camoufly? And
yeah, actually, yeah.
Misfit.
I know Misfit too. Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know.
I didn't know Misfit was from there. Producers. I actually really like Misfit music. That's sick.
Yeah, he's dope as fuck.
Yeah, but we were talking about Ulasal and your relationship with him. At first, when I saw that you guys did the back-to-back, I was like, that's interesting because I know your music as like very heavy rhythm type music, and I know his music as like more like the color based. Like he's made heavy stuff in the past, but I was like, that's an interesting like kind of matchup. And then I dug a little deeper on your music, and I've really only heard your heavy stuff. I was like, oh, you have releases on Halcyon too. That I had no idea. That I just wanted to ask, like, I'm curious about your journey of, being that you've really only made music since we've already talked about, when you started. Was that difficult for you to learn how to write the heavy stuff as well as like writing more of the pretty like halcyon melodic stuff that you've done? Or what was like your journey there with, learning how to write both things? And do you write more than just dubstep? Yeah.
So I think that's the point. The one you just said, I think it's the most important thing is like, that I've never just written, just dubstep.
What you're famous for, but
I've always been doing like all I want to do. Like if I want to make a house tune, I'll make a house tune. If I feel like making a hyper pop tune, I'll make a hyper pop or color based, whatever. Call it. I don't know. I think genres are like are not very useful, honestly, when you're producing. Like if you stay in one specific channel, like making some sort of music, you don't realize what you're missing out on.
And I'm sure from learning to write other genres too, you're like not only taking things from like maybe attributes or different samples or something from those different genres that you've made, but also you're probably like learning a lot more by learning how to write different genres. Because if you're just learning how to write one specific thing, then you're like, you could be, like you said, losing out on learning about, a specific chord or a specific sample or a specific whatever it may be. You might pigeonhole yourself too much.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like, if I can say, if I had to say to producer that is starting right now, what should I do? Like, try a lot of stuff, never focus on just one thing, for your own good. Like, it's good to experiment.
Why did you decide to go the rhythm route then for like is it just what really hit first, or what kind of put you in that lane instead of maybe a different genre?
I grew up listening to a lot of music, like rock, pop, rap, everything. Okay. And when I was 16, I found out about electronic music. And from there, I was listening to a lot of house and stuff like that. And then I found out about dubstep. And it was like, whoa, this is so much cooler than what I've been hearing till now. And But yeah, the main, I think
You just like
my
it more.
passions, I think my passion sparked when I started listening to the guys I told you before,
Right,
like
right,
all
yeah.
my inspiration. Yeah, like there, from there, I really realized how cool this music can be, and so yeah, from there I
They're
went
really
like
just, you liked it more.
straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dope.
exactly. I just dived in.
Yeah. Throughout your rise of, getting to where you are now, you kind of jumped around over the past few years between like a few different management companies and like agencies and stuff. You've been signed to a few different, or at least a couple different agencies since the early days. What did, without bashing on anyone, I don't know if there's any drama tied up there, but talk about, divulge whatever you can. But what was the reasoning? Like, why haven't you stuck with one person? It was just kind of how it unfolded, or is it a better opportunity, or what was the reasoning there?
Honestly, was just about like a better opportunity, and trying to go from level 1 to level 2, yeah, actually I just recently changed a booking agency.
Yeah, you're with Wasserman now.
Wasserman right now, yeah. And I'm like, I love Wasserman, so I think I did a good choice. I was with Prism before. I'm very grateful for them, and I still thank them to this day, because they actually they are the one that provided me the visa. So they were the petitioner for my visa. So I'm extremely grateful.
Do you think you could have done it at, like, you kind of need to be with an agency in order to come to the United States and get a visa, right?
I think so. I really like don't know.
You were saying they vouched for you. I was like, I don't even know if you could without an agency come over here. Like, you have to be with someone to.
I think an agency is like a good starting point to get a visa. So yeah, that's it. I'm very grateful. But I think everybody in their life, they get to a point where they need to move on, and I just moved on, I think.
Yeah. It was probably quicker than maybe some, but it's because your music's so damn good, man. Too good. Was there anything that you like learned from each one individually, and like what were some of your big like learning lessons from working with different agencies and different people?
That I found out that there are levels to this.
Yeah.
To this system. So like, of course, I don't want to say anything bad. It's like, but I went from a small agency to like a huge one.
Yeah, national.
Is like huge.
Right.
Yeah, huge. I think they have Billie Eilish and
yeah.
I don't know.
They have movie stars, I think,
other
too.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, and so it's just I didn't know that it could get that big. That's it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like seeing, so you think like EDM's kind of like it, which it is. It's not like. It's not like rap where they're playing it on, a local radio station or whatever, but it's still kind of underground in that respect. But at the same time, they're tied into like, it's still talent. It's still like on a large scale, and it's still, like you said, big levels to that. Do you have any words of advice for artists who are maybe looking at their first agency or getting approached by their first agency, and, maybe some stuff to look out for?
I mean, mainly I'd say look out for the contract that they are trying to make you sign.
Yeah.
Like, of course.
Did you get a lawyer or anything to look over it, or anyone in legal to help you with that? No. I mean, that whenever you're, facing a contract, you should always contact a lawyer. Yeah.
Like in any case, like this is not just in this case, like in life, like if you have a big contract, show this to a lawyer, and, they're going to explain to you. But
do you regret not doing so?
I didn't. I almost did.
Okay.
At some point, but for something like, it's still like in the music industry, but not from like Prism or Western. It's like another thing, separate thing.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to dive into that too much if you don't want to bring that up.
Almost regret.
Yeah.
No, it was like I had. Yeah, I prefer just not to.
Okay.
But it's all good now.
Yeah.
We're here.
I've asked this to a lot of people, but was there anything like, if it wasn't for music, would you be doing anything else in life? Do you have any other passions in like any other type of career fields, or was music kind of just like the thing that it was just music and that's what you were going to do regardless?
Yeah,
Did
I think so. I think so. Like, um, I don't think there's anything in my life that is, as um, prominent as music to me. Does it make sense? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
even
yeah.
know if I use the right wording.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's not as you don't you don't like anything more. Like you would rather spend all your time on music. You
I'm
don't
ready
have
to
any
kill
other.
myself, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but there's nothing that motivates me enough other than music, honestly.
I know we
And
talked about previously, but you didn't get a whole lot of support from your parents with, and I can very much relate to that with not getting the support from parents. And what did your family want you to do instead of music, or what would they prefer you doing?
study.
Study.
Yeah, which you can still do. I'm not gonna say like you can study and make music at the same time. Actually, like there are a ton of people that do that. But yeah, they were very, it was difficult when I started because, of course, they didn't want me to make music. So whenever I was doing too much music, they were like, "Yo, you should study. You should do this. You should do that. You should go to university. You shouldn't be doing this stuff." Like, it was a kind of tough situation at home because my mom was being very passive aggressive towards me, meaning that, like, she knew that it was a good thing for me to make music, but she was not like showing that. Like, she was acting like if it was cool, but then every day she would say something that threw me off. And so yeah, I remember that was a difficult period. Because
What do your parents do for a living? Or did they want you to do what they like your dad did or anything? Or
it's crazy because my dad actually, my dad is a painter.
Okay.
And also sell motorcycles, but for the
painter
longest
as
time,
in art or like painting houses.
Art.
Okay, got it.
So for the longest, and he was also like an actor in theater, not theater.
So he's been
like,
in the arts.
Yeah, exactly. So for the longest time, he's been doing arts of any kind except for music. And my mom is an architect, so she is also like into visual
design,
stuff, design, exactly, design. And but yeah, they were like, no way, you're gonna study and you're gonna pursue a decent career. And
that's crazy.
That's it.
Dang, it's crazy that your parents like didn't really, at least your dad didn't have a traditional route, and yet they didn't really support you taking that journey.
I wouldn't say like he's happy that I'm doing what I'm doing, but he's also very aware of the fact that he's almost 60, he's 68 actually.
Okay.
And like, he just wants me to have a standard job,
right.
have a standard life. And but yeah, as soon as they realized, I was like,
do they feel differently about it now that you're signed to Wasserman, you're making money, you're touring?
Exactly. That's okay. That's what I was about to say. Like, as soon as I showed them that I can actually provide some sort of stability or income, they were like, all right, we are very happy now. So it was a difficult process. I had to get to a point where I'd show them, look, I'm touring the States. This is awesome. Like, not a lot of people from Italy do this type of stuff.
Yeah, not a lot of people in general get that opportunity.
It's gotten way better, way better. Because the thing I'm trying to say, like when I told you about family issues, like for me, living in Italy and not making any money off music, but still doing music and trying to study, it was such a difficult thing because my parents would every day be on my neck, like, yo, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop.
It's like
take a break.
The only thing that you wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly. It was, and it went on for at least like 3 years, like of them being on my neck every single day. So that what does that mean? Like that means that if I, let's say in those days, I wanted to go out with some friends, I couldn't. Or I used to feel shitty because they made me feel shitty because I was wasting my time already with music, so I couldn't waste more time with friends.
Oh, so it's like in their eyes, it was your free time, but you're like, no, this is something that I'm like trying to work on. This isn't free time. This is like what I'm trying to treat as my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's the point. Like they thought I was always on vacation.
Yeah.
I was doing anything, you know?
Like all you're doing is making these beep bop sounds and going out with your friends, like do something productive. And you're like, well, the beep bop sounds is productive. You just don't see it that way.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that was so difficult for me. Like,
how did you eventually overcome that with them?
Like, I can't even tell you like how many times we talked about it. It was like we talked about
that issue
a lot of times, like a lot of times, and they were not seeing a solution. That stopped when I got signed with Wasserman.
Right. So. Did they want like a specific career out of you, or they just wanted you to, regardless of what you wanted to do, they just wanted you to go to school instead?
No, I'd say I'm pretty lucky that they didn't want me, you know, to be like a doctor or a dentist. They just wanted me to have a standard job, but not a specific job, you know?
Got it. I know every situation, you know, with parents and stuff, and every child and their relationship with their parents is different. But if you could, you know, if someone is in your similar shoes, because I know I have been in those same shoes. I'm in those same shoes right now, actually. What advice would you give to the young and up and coming professionals that are in that position of, you know, not getting to maybe the support that they need from their parents or loved ones?
Honestly, I'd say, like, of course, don't give up just for that reason, because, you know, there's wars that can happen. But yeah, I'd say keep doing what you're doing and try to find a balance. And if your parents are very, how can I say, like, they don't want to understand, well, try to, you know, try to follow what they're kind of telling you to do, but still find the time to do your thing and prove them wrong. I know it can be a slow process, but try to prove them wrong in the best possible way. And yeah, don't give up just because somebody told you to, you know? Yeah.
I'm still just trying to wrap my head around, like, how did you find the time? Because you said that they didn't want you to go. You're going out with your friends and making music was like the same kind of. They put it in the same kind of category. But how did you just end up not going out with your friends ever and just stayed home and did music, or like, you know, how did you live life at that point?
Oh yeah. Like when I was in high school, like I was never going out, like never. But I guess it's like standard for a lot of, you know, people that are into this world, you know, where when you're that passionate to something about something, just, you know, give it all.
It's wild. It's wild. Like we almost get into this industry because we like going out and we like, you know, being out and with our friends and doing this. But then, like, as soon as you get into it, like career wise, it's like, okay, now I like almost, at least for me, and depending on where you are in your career, obviously it's all different, but like at the earlier phases where you're like really dedicated and like you're like trying to chase after this thing, you're like, I never go out. I just stay home and work. Like, and it's so interesting because I'm doing all the work that I'm doing is so that I can go out and do that later in life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just, it's interesting. Like, not in your situation, you kind of had to, because they, like you said, your parents kind of put it in the same category. But outside of that, like now, I'm sure like how often do you even go out now? You're busy touring, you're busy writing music, like, and not going out like for work, but like just going out to have a good time.
I try to do my best to go out as much as, you know, I want to do, but my social battery is very small.
Dude, yeah, I feel that. Especially when your job is going out and entertaining people.
I think might be that, but also not that. Like I think in general, even when I was at high school, I just preferred to make
That actually
music
makes
at
sense.
home.
Going back to our original point of, or one of our first points of you wearing, starting your career as a mass DJ, that kind of makes sense.
Like I was very used to be by myself and mind my own business because of dubstep. I think that growing up, I just got used to it, and my social battery adjusted to that lifestyle. I think, and I don't know. I'm just like this.
Well, we have a couple more questions for you. I do want to find out. One is just, what does the future look like for you? What do you got plans coming up? Are you back home right now? Or are you?
No, I'm actually at my manager's house.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, okay. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it. I'm working on an album, on a big chunk of music, and I'm very excited about that, and it's my main focus right now.
Congrats on the album.
And for that, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm actually going back to Italy pretty soon, in like 20 days.
Okay.
And I'll spend like some time there just to focus on music, and less on shows.
How often? I know you just went on tour too with Sudden Death. How did that?
No, that didn't.
Oh, it didn't happen?
Actually,
what happened
there?
No,
No, because the Sudden Death tour got canceled.
Oh shit! I didn't even know.
Yeah, was supposed to be the Harbinger tour, or Harbinger. I don't know how you say it. But it got canceled because he was touring hard, I think, and he just needed some time. I think everybody just needs some time to cool off,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely.
And
if you keep going nonstop, the way that how hard and fast paced this industry is, you do need from time to time, even if it's like, if you're at home, it's a little different, but if you're touring, it definitely, like, you need a month or two from time to time to just like step away from responsibilities.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very needed, I think.
How have you gotten better at that balance of taking time off when you need to?
I'm trying to get better.
Yeah. I'm sure with your upbringing of with your parents and stuff, and being that you wanted to work on music, and it kind of being almost a taboo thing. Now you're like, now I don't have any constraints over me, and that's all I want to do. So
yeah, it's nice because I can chill at my place, and my parents are like, yeah, you deserve it. And
is it a weird feeling going home now and like actually getting like your parents finally understanding and like finally kind of giving you the support that you've wanted?
It's a very good feeling, honestly. It's like I never want to go back to a different situation, because it's so good to go home and feel accepted and welcomed, and that honestly I don't want to go back. And like I'm still trying to, when you asked me about the balance, I told you I'm trying to, but also there are some problems that I face, when I come here to the States, even if I'm not touring. Like today I'm not touring, I'm not playing a show, and I've not been playing a show for like 5 days, or I don't know, 3 days, I don't remember. But it's not the same if I'm not at home. Like this is not rest for me. Like for me to rest, I need to be home in my room, with my studio set up, my bed, my people, my family, my friends, and that I consider home.
Do you think you always do, no matter how far you get in your career, and even if you continue this on, you're doing this when you're 40, 50 years old, do you ever see yourself moving to the States to make it a little bit more accessible, or do you always want to stay in Italy?
I wouldn't move full time. I would always like go back and forth. Maybe I'd spend more time in the States, yeah, sure, but
or like have
never full time,
a part-time home in the States or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can, but not full time. Never. No. I don't know. Like I know a lot of people that would do the opposite, never go back to Italy.
Yeah. That's typically what I would hear from most people.
Yeah, but no, I actually like can't wait to go back. And you know, it's a place that feels like home. And yeah, for me, that's my place. You know?
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, we will wrap up here. It's been awesome having you. Thank you for talking with me today.
Thank you very much.
Before we wrap up, though, is there anything else that we'd like to get out there that, you know, we didn't touch on?
Like, just want to say, like, if you have a passion, you know, don't like follow what you're passionate about. Like, even if you're surrounded by people that tell you the opposite, if you're actually passionate, I feel like you should do it regardless. Yeah, even like when I was making dubstep, my friends didn't think it was cool. Actually, they thought it was complete opposite of cool, you know? And I just didn't give a fuck, you know?
It's crazy. At a young age, too. That's crazy that you had that outlook on things, because I cared way too much about what other people thought about me. I don't know if I'd have the courage to be like, I like this thing and I don't care if you make fun of me for liking it. Like, I didn't have that in me. That's so cool. Honestly, that you did.
Honestly, I never care, because, you know, at the end of the day, it was me listening to that music.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's your personal relationship with it. Yeah.
If they don't enjoy it, why? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, honestly, you can go fuck yourself. If you want me to stop listening to this music, why? I should stop because of you? Why? Because it didn't make sense to me, so I never did. I never stopped, and you know, that was my idea, and I followed my idea, my taste. And so, yeah, follow your taste. That is my best advice I can give you.
That's great advice, because I think you've done a great job at that. Not only, you know, talking about family stuff, but also your friends. Like, it was just like, the world is against you, but I don't give a shit. I'm doing this regardless. And look at how far and how successful you've become. So inspiring, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. One last piece of advice. You gave your advice to others out there, and, you know, hopefully that touches them. But I'm just curious, and I ask this at the end of every single interview, but if you could give one piece of advice to yourself when you first picked up a DAW and started, you know, chasing your music career, what would that be?
Would be shit.
Take your time.
Well, first, the internet is on your side. Like, YouTube is full of resources, and internet, like, in general, is full of resources. So, like, don't feel like you're alone. Even if you don't know how to learn something, like, there's always a way online to learn stuff. And yeah, like, develop your taste and really, you know, stick to that, because at the end of the day, you know, if without your own taste, without your own road, like, you're the same as other people, and you're never, you know, stick out.